Now, in the course of all this, we were contacted by Discover magazine, and Discover wanted to do a piece on shaken baby syndrome. And I'm almost at my limit here, so I'm going to try to finish up. The question Mark asked, I was the first interviewee. He said, I got to tell you, this might not go anywhere because my editor is upset that a lot of people are making money on the witness stand with regard to shaken baby syndrome. And I said, Mark, I've not made a dime and I don't intend to. I'm a public policy institute. We're not advocates, we're scientists. And I said, what is your technical background? And Mark said, well, I have a master's degree in physics. And I said, oh, sweet, how sweet. So I walked him through this, and what was supposed to be a 10-minute phone call was probably 3 hours. I gave him the contact points for the other side, the people who advocate for shaken baby syndrome. And the report didn't come out, and didn't come out, didn't come out. So I gave a call, Mark, I'm not influencing you, I just want to know where's the report. He said, well, my editors are upset because they don't think I have a balanced story. He said, but for God's sakes, I'm calling these people, I'm asking hard questions, and they're literally hanging the phone up on me. Well, I could relate to that. We had, during the summer, this past summer, we decided to track down the expertise. So we would call these websites that are all about, shaken baby syndrome. And we would say, as one example, where did you get your data? And they go, well, we're experts. And we go, well, that's great. How did you become an expert? How do you know this many happen per year? Well, this is what we do. This is what we do. Well, that's not going to work. We're skeptical. We want to know where you got your data and how you analyzed it. So finally, this woman came on the phone and said, oh, here's what we did. We contacted 3 children's hospitals in Cleveland, asked for their estimates, and multiplied times the number of hospitals in America. I'm not making this up. First of all, if your baby seizes, are you going to look up a children's hospital? No, you go to the emergency room, right? Anyway, the methodology is obviously very, very flawed. We put out a search. If anyone can find any evidence of a nanny cam, a hidden nanny cam with someone shaking a baby, we'll pay for it. We'd love to see it. But we don't want to encourage people to go shake their babies for money, so we didn't say we'd pay for it. 2 things, real quick. There's a about to be famous case right here in town. Greg Kaplan and his wife in Washington, D.C. Awoke in the middle of the night and a problem with one of their babies. They rushed it to Georgetown University Medical Center. CT scan was done. There was a subdural, and the Kaplans went home with the other baby, which was a twin. And an hour later, Child Protective Services, and they extracted the other child, and they didn't even have a restraining seat or belt for the child, but whatever. Put the 2 children into the foster system. And luckily for the Kaplans, as the Washington Post has reported, they could afford a law firm, and they did. They won, but they're still angry. The process is we have reversed Lord Blackstone's ratio. Better that one guilty man go free than that 10, I got it wrong, so yeah, than 10 innocents suffer. Now think about that. That is a cornerstone of our system of jurisprudence. If it is a principled argument that, well, a child can't accuse, a child can't defend itself, therefore we will reverse the presumption of innocence, where does that argument end? With a mentally retarded person? With a drunk person? I don't know where the argument ends. I think it is dangerous, slippery slope that we have willfully, saliently reversed Thurston's ratio. I'll close by invoking a brilliant skeptic, I bet all of you know, named H.L. Mencken, Baltimore, Washington, journalist, philosopher, brilliant skeptic. He said, you get along in life in 3 components. The first thing, and this is mostly a political claim, the first thing that you do is you identify a victim. I've heard examples of you change it. Sometimes you have to change the wording a little bit to make it work, but a swamp is suddenly a tropical rainforest. Now it suddenly sounds like a victim, right? Already it's a victim. So then the second thing you do is you identify a villain, right? Somebody is ruining the rainforest, victimizing it. And that would be an entrepreneur or whoever it is that is not taking care of our ecology. Then the third thing you do is declare yourself the vanquisher. And that is, not only am I going to solve the problem, I'm going to make the villain pay for it, elect me, pay for me, by me. And I think by telling you from the very beginning that there's a victim here, I hope that I got your attention and made you think skeptically about something that we've been handed as shaken baby syndrome. Yes, there's child abuse, and as a pro-law enforcement person, I'm all over it. But the business of shaking a baby and creating a subdural hematoma is physically impossible. It is absolutely a myth. And the Discover article did come out last month, and what was going to be a couple pages ended up being a 5-7 page spread, completely on our side, completely vindicated the science. So with that, I will conclude. I hope you found it somewhat interesting, and I'm happy to take questions subject to time constraints.